slaves shall serve. L58, love is the law. Love under will. Some people are. Take your fill and will he will. Take your fill and will of love, as he will. For man has a right to kill those who would thwart these rights the slave shall serve. Man has the right to live by his
Joe's a
own
fake Democrat.
law. To live in the way that he wills to do. To work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. To man has the right to eat that he will. To drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Free man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw point or to man as he will, to dress as he will. For man has the right to love as he has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will.
Joe's a fake Democrat.
It's going. And now you have an audacity as a black rabbi. First of all, they don't have respect for you because you are black, number one. Number two, are coming to defending yourself against the Iran, 7,000 years old country, that you are saying, oh, in 12 days war, they could say this, they didn't kill people, they didn't do this because of that. Who attacked first? You guys expect to attack Iran and to kill people, to kill children, that they are innocent children at the school, not one-time bombing, double dosing, triple dosing, to make sure all the children are died because you guys need sacrifice. Instead of chicken, you guys taking sacrifice from us, Iranian, out from our kids, from our Iranian children. And you expect Iran to calm down now? Iran is going to fight for the last minute. All Iranian people. Don't look at this bunch of lunatics, diasporas, this Pahlavi people. You guys think that you guys have supporters? No, those supporters, they were AI from Israeli AI robots, okay? Or paid and for this publications and ads and all kind of bullshit that they were to spread the Israeli propaganda. Iranian people, they hate you guys. I hate your country. I hate Israel. You understand that? So you think by you bringing us, oh, we are rabbi, we are Jews. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. I couldn't give a shit who the fuck you are. If you talk about you've been promised 3,000 years ago, fuck you. We've been existing over 7,000 years. So you can go fuck yourself with your 3,000 years. If you think in 70 years, your history is 70 years, our soccer team has more history than your existences. You guys are fucked. You guys are born in something that you shouldn't bark. Iran is not Gaza. It's not Lebanon. You guys are all fucked. And we are cheering the Iranian government right now, the way they are going through your fucking country, because you guys have killed innocent children. This is a revenge for those people, the victims of Jeffrey Epstein's island. Those victims that they have been killed by your country, assassinated by your country.
America has done the black.
Your country is your country is terrorist organization in the world. You ask anybody, everybody knows that. You just wait. You're gonna see how the whole thing is gonna be falling on you guys. You guys are the disgusting people that exist in the earth. Have a nice day. Thank you.
So just to respond to that point, the reality is still this point. We're superior. If you do not go along with this 15-point plan from Iran back
You're superior on my ass. You are superior on my ass. Yeah.
We clearly are.
And as the black, you should be more sympathetic in the way that you approach the situation.
I didn't.
Because as the black,
keep your
the Americans,
to yourself.
and I can
I'm a proud American citizen.
And
we're the most prosperous country in the entire world.
I can tell you.
And we remove the evil that exists on planet Earth. That is our mission as Americans.
I can tell
This is the American mission.
You are the evil now you are American.
God has given us air superiority in Iran so we can execute whatever is needed to free Iran.
No, but I'm saying
it all around the world evenly. That's
and the problem that nobody understands here right now is that China is the problem.
Oh, they're the saviors. They're not the problem. They're going to solve this problem.
And I understand that you may think that America is not the solution either, but China is going to be the biggest problem in the way that their culture is, how much different the Iranian culture is. I love the Iranian culture and the Iranian people, but the Chinese people can be very, very, very bad people.
Where did you come with China? Hold on, where did you come with China in all of this?
You must not understand, brother, the petrodollar is why the United States seeks to regulate the Strait of Hormuz, what Iran actually must, by natural, they have every right to enforce their laws to that strait because it is their land. And if the United States does not want to play by the rules that the Iranian people set, the United States loses everything, which you don't understand.
How is the United States?
Because
you think United States would lose a war with Iran? Are you out of your fucking mind, bro?
Do you think that? Do you not understand? Do you not understand that there will be? Do you not understand that in order for the United States to come there, they're going to have to send ground troops. People are going to die. They will be very bloody. They cannot fit the boat, the carrier through there to do what they must do in order to quote unquote. They're going to have to send the army, and people are going to die. And if you think that this is funny, and if you think that this is much more than about the petrodollar, my brother, you are very, very wrong. If you don't understand the cost, I'm in Los Angeles now. The price of gas is $7 a gallon, and what you don't understand is this is all foundational back to the petrodollar and the fact that if the United States does not just seek peace and agreement in how they do business with the Iranian people and send new leadership over, then that's where the fucked part comes in, because China is not good people to do business with. I know for a long time, Chinese is not good to do business with. They will say all this because Chinese do it a particular way. And although this may seem like a great strategic approach to trade in yuan, but no, we would be better.
China is much more pleasant.
And the Russian
China is much more pleasant to trade with than the United States.
Zaytoven, are you producing any beats right now?
Under these conditions.
Zaytoven, have you produced any beats lately?
No, I've been working on my PhD in economics.
You should get to that.
Yes, I know. I'm very busy lately, and it's.
But you're in Los Angeles, right?
I'm in Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And we suffer the most.
Can I play something in Arabic and you translate it for us?
No, it's okay. It's okay. You could use any. I think you could use it.
Is it okay? Can you listen and then let us know what they are saying?
No, it's okay, brother. You could just use the subtitle or whatever in the video and translate it.
Assalamu alaikum, no oink for me.
Okay, be quiet.
I do not eat
I want to give it to...
I do not
bro,
eat the pig.
Be quiet, bro. Oh my God. This guy is such a fucking troll.
I want to go over the differences between Chinese negotiations and U.S. negotiations when I get the chance. Amir, you go. Sorry, mate.
I want to give it to the new people. Morning, do you want to chime in?
But it was his turn. Pass it.
Hang on.
I don't think you can hear me. I'm traveling. But thank you.
I got no problem. Pearl, did you want to say something? No? Okay, I think she...
Okay, the man, his name is Fascist.
It's okay, bro. I'll give it to him. Just hang on. So I don't need a co-moderator, man. Let me run the way I'm going to run it. Thank you. What'd you say, bro?
I said, do you like my display picture?
I can't hear you.
Can you see my profile picture? Do you like my profile?
I don't know what that is. Anyways, go on now.
He's the IRGC, who is the speaker, who is announcing all the things from the IRGC. Is that
Francis, it's on you, and then Cash, and then Mike.
Yeah, and with your permission, yeah, I agree with the co-moderation. It's not required. Okay, so the difference between Chinese and US way of dealing. So what have we seen from the US? They just surprise attack a country, steal their presidents, surprise attack a country, start blowing things up. How about trying to start negotiations with people, and in the middle of those negotiations start killing people, and then coming back, pull back, and then say, oh, we want peace, and then start negotiations again, then start killing people again. Let's compare this with China and their designs on Taiwan. They've been very patiently and for a time been seeking peaceful resolution when it comes to reunification with Taiwan. If you ask me, Taiwan would be stupid to keep siding with the United States at this point because they're a reigning power. If you follow the money, simply the best direction Taiwanese is to go with China. I'm going to now talk about these apparent evils that dealing with the Chinese means. The Chinese society is not an evil society. They're very respectful people. In fact, if you go to the shops, you can see how polite they are. I mean, you compare that with a lot of different people. I mean, you're talking about a very big country, and they have a lot of rules, and the rules are generally pretty good because it keeps people from overstepping, taking advantage of each other, and oppressing each other. It's a hierarchical system. Right? There are issues with free speech, of course. There are issues with all kinds of things, all kinds of freedoms. But with those losses in freedoms, certain types anyway, comes a lot of safety. Okay, so in the United States we see the opposite. People love this idea of freedom because they love to be able to do whatever the hell they want. They love to be able to economically oppress their populations. I mean, even their socialist version of politics, the US Democrats, they make all these promises for poor people. They never, ever deliver them. Ever. Look at all the poor people in the United States. And the US Democrats have done nothing to improve their way of life. The way of life in China has been steadily improving for the last 20, 30 years. In very drastic ways. And the results can be seen in the way the Chinese society is now built, now runs. It's a very good system. It's the way of the future. And if you ask me, it's the way of peace. Just look at the example with the way they have gone about trying to bring Taiwan back into unification with China. There has of course been threats, but there's been no surprise attacks. There's been calm and patient waiting for Taiwan to make the decision themselves for a peaceful reunification. Even now, at this window of opportunity for the Chinese, this is the biggest window of opportunity in the last 50 years for China to take Taiwan. And even now we see they're stressing the peaceful option rather than a hot war option. I would hope that the Taiwanese see where the future of the world economy is going. It's obvious that the United States has stepped well out of line with every country and every power on the globe. Well out of line. That doesn't come without a cost. The New World Ordering is taking place. And if Taiwan has any sense, they will peacefully cede to economic growth with China. By the way, they're each other's biggest trade partners. So nothing good comes from a hot war between Taiwan and China. It's just a simple issue of loyalties and ideologies. Loyalties and ideologies aren't everything when it comes to making money. Taiwan and China together can make a lot of money and be one of the strongest unified economic forces on the planet. Right? Fragmented by stupid ideas of freedom that get nobody anywhere. Who cares about freedom? People are gonna have to wake up every morning, go to work, make money for their communities, make money for their country. It doesn't matter what, right? Nobody's really truly free, as much as even the United States is not a free place. What's free about the United States now, particularly? I mean, it's becoming less and less free every day. I'll land on that. But if you ask me, the future is with China. It's not with the United States.
Well, I just would like to chime in because, I think it's very important to discuss.
Can I give him a pushback?
It must discuss it.
Do you want to give him a pushback? It's a question for you. Do you want to give him a pushback?
Sure.
It's a yes or no question.
Yeah, sure.
I'll give you about 45 seconds to give him a pushback. I gotta get to cash.
You are right. I look at what you say, and you have told no lie. But as the petrodollar fades away, the US dollar must be backed by something of a chip that runs the technology. Taiwan is the only place that can make that chip, and the United States unfortunately needs it. So, the politics, may not be the best, but, you are right, 100%. But still, Chinese is not.
Really quickly, before you move on to the next question, super quick,
Such a fucking troll, man.
Well, it's kind of got their idea. The US have to start pivoting away from reliance on petrodollar because people are de-dollarizing and trying to get out from the petrodollar anyway, regardless of this war. This is just accelerating that process. But Americans already have a plan, and that is to shift over to LNG, liquid natural gas. That began with the destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline to Europe, so they fucked Germany over. Now us poor Europeans have to buy overinflated price LNG in the US. And that's their strategy to try and shift over to Western heavier dominance of LNG. So I just wanted to add that aspect.
Thank you. Cash, do you want to chime in, bro?
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in on what bro was talking about earlier. Somebody had popped in when Kitover was talking and was like, you think America's going to win this war, you lose to Iran, you're fucking crazy. I just wanted to comment, bro, they're definitely probably going to lose. If you think about the situation of this war, it's the same way as happened in Vietnam. If we put ground troops over there in the fucking mountains where we don't know nothing about, we're fucked. And besides that, America's about money. The longer this war drags on, the more America's going to want to pull out. It's the same situation as when Vietnam, the American public turned against the government because we didn't want the war. It's the same thing. All Iran got to do is hold out long enough. We're not going to be able to do shit on the ground. Trump is going to put them troops down there to fucking die. That's it. So as long as Iran can hold out, they're going to be good. And they got the same people behind them that Vietnam had behind them. Who? China. It's the same shit. So as long as they last this war out, and we go a couple more years, America going to make this man shut this shit down and we're going to pull out. It's going to be a loss. That's all I really had to say.
All right, cool, thanks. Mike, did you want to chime in? Mike?
I will say this.
Hold on a second, hold on. Mike, are you there? Mike? Alright, I think it's probably a bot account.
Hello, my name is Velvet.
Hold on a second, okay, Buster, did you want to chime in, bro?
Hey guys, how's everyone? Hey, I'm here. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm great, mate. I just want to clarify some points. Maybe it's not going to be related to Iran, but we will reach to Iran at the end. Maybe we can look at the situation from different angle. Okay. First thing, I wanted to clarify about the international maritime law about straits like Hormuz or Jebel Tariq or Bab el Mandab or whatever strait or Malaga Strait between Singapore and Malaysia. The straits is free to be. You can sail your ship freely. You cannot pay anything. The only places that you pay money are the man-made one, which like Suez Canal and Panama Canal, because some other people build it, so you pay fees on that. But this law cannot be applied on natural straits because they are, naturally made. You didn't do anything about it. So if any country, if the countries try to make you pay some fees if you are crossing any strait, that means Malaga and Singapore should pay the Chinese ship. Also, Britain and Spain should pay you money, should make you pay money when you cross Jebel Tariq, or Yemen can make you pay money if you are going to cross Bab el Mandab, and etc. So this is not how it works in maritime law. So only natural or only man-made canals, you pay money on them, which is fair enough. These people build it, so they deserve the fees. That's it. The second point, I see some propaganda about China, and maybe people doesn't understand exactly how Chinese society works. You may feel unhappy in the Western culture or the America or Australia or Europe or whatever, but actually China is totally different place. They don't have freedom of speech. And when I mean it, it's a big thing actually. It's not something small. For example, this conversation we're having right now with different ideas, you cannot do it in China at all. Never. You are not allowed even to speak about any public affairs. It's not your job. You can work for 16 hours and paying very little money at the end of the day. It's not how you think it's not how you think it's like a paradise. No, it's not gonna work like that. Plus, in China, with also the human rights is not, guys, when you are in a community that they integrate the country more than people, you will understand what the freedom means. This point is so important. Plus, the idea of trading of Chinese dealing in international issues and stuff, they are not like America yet. America sometimes use their army to force the petrodollar, which I'm gonna go talk about it in the next point. But Chinese actually might drown you in debt. They put you in a heavy debt that you cannot pay, and end up they buying or taking over all your important assets, like what happened like 10 years ago with Sri Lanka, when Sri Lanka had lots of debt from China and they couldn't pay. So what happened is China took their main port forever. Also in China, you are not allowed to have any social media. Everyone is being watched. No Facebook, no Twitter, no Clubhouse, nothing at all. You are only allowed to use the WeChat, the Chinese version, and it's all, you cannot say anything.
So many falsehoods, but carry on. No, you're speaking so many falsehoods, but I'll let you finish. Carry on.
I'm sorry for my English. It's not the best, but I'm trying to explain as much as I can.
No, it's not about your English. It's about your propaganda that you're spreading.
Yeah, a few of those things
I'm
are
not,
true, man. So
I'm not in either side, by the way. I don't give a shit.
No, that's cool.
I'm not in either side.
Yeah, finish up. Take your time. No worries. Take your time.
All right.
Cool. Yeah.
All right. The petrodollar idea came in time after Nixon in 1971 when he made this deal with Arab countries or the oil-producing countries to ask them if they want to sell their oil they have to sell it in one condition. The other party who want to buy it must pay it in American dollar. And the reason for that is that we want to create a demand on US dollar, because everyone wants energy and these people have lots of energy to sell. So he want to create this demand. So why he did that? Because back in time in 1944, at the last 2 years in the World War II, there was some agreement called Bretton Woods. And this Bretton Woods stated that countries to have like dealing with each other in trade or whatever they have, they can use the American dollar as a standard currency for that. Why? Let me explain more. I'll try my best. In 1942 or 1941, when the World War was on its peak, many countries were afraid that, you know, any currency, when you print, you have to have some assets with it. Like, for example, if you want to print like $100 bill, there must be some gold in your stocks that match with this $100 bill. It's as simple as that. There must be some coverage for any currency you are printing. So each country has their currencies, and each currency is covered by gold or silver or whatever rare metal.
This is also not true. Gold is no longer underpinning any currency now.
Let me finish the idea and you'll understand. I'm talking about back in time when something called gold standard was applied in the world. When you are printing any currency, you have to have some gold standard for it, or a gold coverage for this currency. So England have the Bank of England, also France, any country in the world should have or doing that thing to print their currency. If you print your currency without the coverage, you will have something called inflation, and we all know about inflation. So what happened in 1941, many of the European countries, because they are afraid that Hitler is going to take their gold, so they send it to America. Because it's a safe place there, it's overseas, Hitler cannot reach there, so it's an ideal position. Actually, in 1941, it was the highest peak of gold reserve in the United States. It was 20,000 metric ton, which you can compare it like, it's like between 70 and 75% of all world gold. So American came in 1944 after a couple of years and say, okay, guys, listen what, we have lots of gold in there and our currency is very strong. Why not you trade worldwide by using the American dollar? And the European countries, when they send the gold there, they sent because they were afraid of Hitler and they might take it back when the war finished. But actually, in fact, they didn't take it back. You know why? Because America started something called Marshall Plan. They say, okay, listen what, I'm going to take the gold, keep with me. I'm going to transfer the ownership of this gold to mine. And I'll rebuild your country with this Marshall Plan. So it's like this. It's a win-win situation. You get your country rebuilt again by American people or by American whatever companies. And on reverse, I'll keep the gold. And you can use American dollar as a trade currency because it's supported by 75% of all world gold. And other countries said, okay, let's do it. And people used American dollar. And there was another one reason why people use one currency to use as a trade. It's because something called standardization. Standardization is so important when you are dealing in economy because some people, for example, I'm living in Italy, we are making cars and we are selling it to Romania. For example, one car is $1,000. Maybe I sell it to Egypt by 1,500. Maybe I sell it to Germany by 500. So the price of the goods and services worldwide were not standard. Maybe you get the iPhone from this country by $1,000. From another country, it's going to be $2,000 for the same good. So, but if you put some standardization or you put some standard, like okay, this thing is standardized worldwide by this price, so it's gonna make it fair trade between people, between countries worldwide. So standardization was one of the factors that Bretton Woods was built on. Until 1971, some other countries, because of some crisis happened in oil back in that time, so some countries will still have some gold at America. Americans said, no, I'm not going to return any gold, and I'm going to remove the connection between the US dollar and the gold stocks. So the American back in, and the gold reserve, sorry. So the American back in that time decided, okay, people are going to lose trust in the US dollar by time, so we need to tighten it up with something else, which is petrodollar. So America started something called OPEC, which is the countries that export oil, and they asked them, okay, guys, can you sell your petrol using only American dollar, and that give you some build your countries like Saudi Arabia and Emirates or whatever countries they are dealing with. They're happy with that because they were living in a tent and a camel. They have skyscraper everywhere and very fancy life. So they said, okay, we agreed with that. And they make this agreement 1971 for 50 years. Because these countries are committed to sell petrol only by American dollar. And the reason for that, as I said before, is to always create a demand on the American dollar so the currency stays strong and stuff like that. Few countries worldwide actually didn't like that. Like Venezuela, when Hugo Chavez came, Hugo Chavez time, and I think it's in 2014 or 2011 when he died, I'm not sure, but he decided not to sell it with US dollar. Iran, the same. Iraq at the time of Saddam Hussein, he decided to sell the petrol without the American dollar. And Libya, sometime in Muammar Gaddafi, some countries here and there, from now and then, they are trying to sell their petrol with a different currency. And this is very alarming for the American domination with their dollar worldwide. Because if you sell it with a different currency, now that's created a big problem for us. But what happened next was really, really no good. American currency, which is United States dollar, until the year 2000, the whole world countries used to have foreign currency reserve in their central banks. And the most dominant currency in them were American dollar. About 70% of all the world have American dollar in their central banks. But this number by time keep decreasing. Now it's like 52%. In less than 25 years, this number has decreased a lot. The rate of decreasing, the rate of people removing the US dollar from their reserve bank are increasing because they have less and less trust by time in American dollar. And also, until 2022, until Joe Biden started to use US dollar and the US financial system, which is a worldwide system, to punish a country like Russia when they invaded Ukraine. Until that point, there was 95% of the whole world trade done by American dollar. Now this number is 80%, so they are decreasing. So the reliability of world on the US dollar is keep decreasing by time. So America have to get back to to increase the demand again and make it powerful currency worldwide. That's why they have to keep control back the countries that abandoned the petrodollar agreement. Actually, in Saudi Arabia, after 50 years, which is 2021, they didn't renew the contract for another 50 years. But even if they didn't renew it, but they still sell their petrol by US dollar. What happened with Biden was devastating in America because since that time in 2022, weaponizing your American dollar against another country, that make other countries too afraid to deal with you or limit their trade with dollars because they might be punished too. Like China, for example, abandoned like $700 billion from American bonds. Some other countries are leading them too. What the damage that Joe Biden and the Democrats did to American economy by weaponizing their dollar is far more beyond what Trump is doing right now in a war or anything. There is another factor also. Guys, are you bored or I keep going, or do you have any comments? Oh? Anyone?
I'm listening.
Yes, and the fact that China feels that they can come inside and do this to their own is not good.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a little advice. There's a force in the universe.
All right. Stop, I forgot. I'm Egyptian.
You finally got to the point which everybody here already knew. You finally got to the present situation. It took about half an hour to get there, but now we're up to date. Yes, finally, we're talking about the present situation, the petrodollar, which everybody already knew about. We all knew Bretton Woods, all that shit. We all knew that, and we don't agree that China is evil. Evil is the Americans and
Hey, what was in George trying to kill him?
so you said you're neutral, but you're blaming American policy on the because America does American policy. It doesn't matter whether Democrats or Republicans are in or not. You sound like you're from Italy, and Italy has a history of experience from the Americans. After the Second World War, the Americans left their stay behind group called Gladio, Operation Gladio, to prevent good people getting into power, such as communists and socialists. And why good fascists to stay in power? Because America likes fascists. And interestingly, so does Israel. And guess who's the buddy of Israel?
Sandler's the fraud and a liar. Got killed 25 trillion, something like that. I'd like to answer back saying millions from Big Pharma. Okay, I think just stories of Paul Nolley.
Ralph, but you can. I'm obviously not
Mother.
moderating. But just quickly, what Trump is, he's not a fascist. Chinese
I never said anything about it.
Chinese are fascist. Trump is not a fascist.
I didn't say anything about Trump being a fascist. I said Mussolini was a fascist. Germany a fascist country, and they preferred fascists to run Europe. They got rid of my Prime Minister, Harold Wilson, because he was too socialist. And they made sure that no communist governments would take hold in Europe. So they left stay-behind groups. You should look this up. Operation Gladio, it's real. There was an event called the kidnapping of Eldor Mora, which was set up by a fake terrorist group called the Red Brigade. They kidnapped him because it was to sabotage a coalition between the communists and the Christian party. And because America didn't want any communist or socialist government. So that's part of the history of experience in Italy. China had no such experience in Italy, Italian politics. But interestingly, Jesus Angleton, who became head of CIA assassinations, who was responsible for the death of JFK, grew up in Italy, of all places, among the Zionist fascists. And I didn't even know until recently there were a thing called Zionist fascists in Italy. And that's where Jesus Angleton came out of, and he ended up murdering the Catholic president of America and his brother.
Can I continue a little bit?
Yeah.
List point, but actually it's in your favor, okay?
Yeah.
I'll say one more thing. Okay. The American national debt in the year 2000 was 60% of their GDP, which means that they have surplus. They have extra money, so they can fund wars like Iraq, like Afghanistan, like whatever. But now, actually, in this situation in 2026, American national debt is 125% of their GDP. That means that they make money. I don't know how to explain this. Can anyone explain it better than me?
What are you trying to explain? Sorry, spaced there.
I want to say that American situation nowadays with Iran is totally different from the time of Iraq and Afghanistan. Back in time, they have luxury of money to fund wars because their national debt was far less than their GDP. They produced a lot of money, and the national debt is only 60%. Actually, in Vietnam, the national debt was like 55% of their GDP, which means you make $100, but you only need $55 to survive. Now, America still making the $100, but they need 125 as a consumption. So the national debt is not giving them much option or luxury to start a war or to fund a war. War consumes lots of money. It's burning lots of money.
By the way,
so I just want to say that this war is not going to stay for a long time because of that.
Yeah.
Simply because they don't have much money to fund this war. Regardless what the reason, they don't give a shit about the reason. But funding the war itself is totally different, and the reason why jump it from 60% to 125%, that's a different story. It's because war in Iraq and Afghanistan, it cost them $7 trillion, and the 2008 crisis cost them around 5 or 6, added to the national debt, and COVID also added, like they printed lots of money. And there is also something very important that the Republican made in 2001 when George Bush put a law to reduce the tax on companies. And also the same one happened in 2019 by Donald Trump, or maybe 2017, by Donald Trump, which increases the national debt. He reduced the companies or the corporate taxes from, I'm not sure, from 32 to 21, something like that. It's like 10-15%, which cost American actually added up to the national debt about $2.5 trillion. So total, this whole $1 trillion, now America's GDP is around $30 trillion, but their national debt is $39 trillion, which means there is a very big gap between the two numbers, which means that America doesn't have much option or the luxury to start a war like they used to do with Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever shit happened before.
One point, trying to make a very clear point. Thank you, appreciate that. Yes.
I didn't take a wrong point. It makes sense if you don't have money, you cannot fund a war.
No, I could have said that in one sentence and we'd have all agreed with you.
No, but I have to explain to people. Maybe some people doesn't know, so it's better to explain to some people.
Now, you think I think Flash just had a few comments on your earlier points about how evil China is. And do you want to talk about China?
Actually, they are not. No one is evil or an angel. People are trying to survive in different ways of life.
Yeah. Well,
I don't
point China now
is evil.
Yeah.
None of them is evil.
Right. To build on your point, in the present situation, there's two dynamics happening. One, you're correct that many nations, including China, are trying to get out from the dollar dependency. That's leading to an emergence of a potential petro-yuan as people...
And the alarming was the weaponizing dollar at the time of Biden. This was the alarming point for China and other countries. Even Saudi Arabia now started to deal with yuan.
Well, Trump was with his tariffs, hasn't he? Right, he's pissing everybody off, right? And China already claimed this anyway, and that's why they're building the BRICS alliance to try and even potentially make their own currency as an alternative to the dollar. But at the same time, this part you may not have been aware of, the US is trying to get out from petrodollar dependency over to LNG, liquid natural gas dollar, because it has cornered that market, and as you remember, they destroyed the Nord Stream pipeline, which was vital for Europe, especially Germany. The act of warfare against Germany, my people, I'm half German, so there's an act of war against my people, by the fucking Americans, and they've wrecked our economy as a result. We relied on that with Russia, a partnership, but good old Anglo-Americans, we always want to divide and separate Russia and Germany because we consider the old enemy, old Europe. That's why we hate communism, we hate socialism, because we're a bunch of fascists and we want to keep running the world under our terms. We want supremacy and we will not let any other nations rise to challenge us. So that's been our strategy. And so as a result, America is accelerating that dependency on gas so that they can put everybody in charge, exorbitant rates for gas. That's their strategy now to get out from dependency on exclusively on the petrol dollar. So I'm not sure if you're aware of that agenda.
I have some new information. Ignore the China or America. Let's talk about
I want to give our respect to China. Hang on a second, Mr. Rolf, when they give out, when they go to countries and they give out the loans, do they get stuck in the loan?
No, they don't. That's a popular myth that West loves to perpetuate. Occasionally, if the deal goes down, yes, they get a loan. But the West are experts at trapping people in loans. They've been doing it. You know about the book.
I tell you.
Masters of trapping people in debt loans. In addition to that,
I'm giving a perspective, because he said China is good.
yeah, they are good. And I just posted a lecture by Yanis Varoufakis explaining the difference. Another difference, which is a crucial difference. Let me finish! Shut up! Let me fucking finish! Shut the fuck up! I am talking! There's another crucial difference! Shut up! Shut up!
Don't tell me
Don't fucking interrupt! I haven't finished yet! You'll get
I
your
was
chance.
asking you a question,
I'm
mate.
replying to Amir. You can ask me the question.
If you can,
after I
hang on,
reply to
Master,
Amir.
you can come off the mic afterwards. Just let him finish.
All right.
There's a crucial difference. Not only the business practices, which are far more reasonable than the West, which uses IMF and other strategies to trap people in debt. The other crucial difference, we build all kinds of strength politically and militarily into their fields. We pressure them to change their culture. We force them to accept Western ideals and change their laws and ban unions. And on top of that, if they fuck up, we get to build a base. That's why America's now got roughly 800 bases all over the world. China never does that. It never says, if you fuck up,
Can we
will
focus on
build a
China?
base.
I'm not
That's
talking
what I'm
about
talking about. It's all relative.
You're comparing America. I didn't
Of
ask you to
course
compare
I am,
America.
because America dominates the whole
I'm not talking
world.
about America. I'm talking about China.
Well, it's crucial because that's why
I
so
need
many...
to talk about China. I'm talking
Yes,
about the focus is on China.
that is why it matters, because so many countries are shifting their alliance to China.
Can you stay? Hold on a second. Oh my God, bro.
Hold on, let me
Hang on,
address that point about China. Let me address the point about China, because all across Africa, for example, they are sick of doing deals with the West. Europeans and Americans, we fuck them over, and they're tired of it. So they're literally all making deals with China because China treats them better. Yes, they moan and complain. They say the Chinese...
What about the debt pressure and asset control?
Yes, there are certain controls. They're always strict to that, but they prefer to work with China. That's the bottom line. So the whole global south is shifting preference to work with China. That's the bottom line. That's what's happening.
Hold on, Masri, please, bro. I'm trying to have this conversation with them because I gave him pushback. China, the debt pressure and asset control concerns. This is a big problem for the countries. When they're stuck in a debt, they don't have a choice but to concede to China demands.
You
agree with that? This is just.
I only agree to a certain extent.
Hold on.
You already said it twice.
Stop coming up the mic.
He said it. Everybody says it. It's so boring.
I'll have to mute you, man. I can't believe it.
Go ahead. Nobody's allowed to push back on you, are we? It's your way or the highway.
I haven't finished.
It's always your way or the highway, isn't it? I'm here.
Do you want to come off the fucking...
No, I'll just leave. If you don't want to fucking let me answer, I'll just fucking leave.
I didn't ask you for the answer.
Just tell me to leave.
I wasn't done. I was in the middle of a sentence. Oh, my God.
Carry on, then.
The debt pressure. Oh, hold on, Nasser, please mute up respectfully. Mute up. Mute up, please. Nasser, please mute up.
Hold on a second.
Oh my God. I hate to fucking mute people up. Man. Please stay muted, respectfully. The debt pressure and the asset control concerns. If they cannot pay back, then they don't have a choice. Whatever China demands, they have to do it, like the port lease agreements or whatever arrangements that they have to do, and they have to concede to that. You see what I'm saying? This is just like, hold on. This is just like, I'm not done. Oh my God. This is just like doing business with the, with a certain group of people where they charge you interest. If you can't pay the interest, you get double or triple the fees back and plus interest and whatnot. It's just like same tactic. So you can respond to that, and then we're going to move on to the next point. I'm going to give you more pushback on China.
All right, let's address those 2 points. One, you said that China puts people, China gives them unreasonable terms or put them into a trap where they have responsibilities if they don't meet their obligations. That is standard practice. Every nation that does any kind of investment deal and a loan operates in that manner. And it turns out China gives better terms on average than other nations. First point. Second, then when they charge interest, that is normal. If I borrow a loan, I have to pay interest. That is normal. Guess what? China offers better loan repayment deals than everybody else. That is why everybody's talking to do deals with China. That's the reality.
Rolf, now that you're done, I'd like to answer Amir's question as well. Amir, part of what Rolf is, in fact, what Rolf is saying is actually true. But there's another more important aspect to this. Firstly, I will concede this point that China has opportunistically sought out nations who have such poor economic management that it would have been likely that they're going to fail on their repayment obligations anyway, and be put into a situation where now China is taking control of a shipping port or something like this. Okay? Now, the thing with any global hegemony, whoever it is, whoever's building hegemony, they're always going to be in charge of these types of things because all of the assets on the planet really are held by violence, right? China is less violent than the United States when it comes to these types of deals. They don't get heavy-handed as in the same way that the United States does. This is the first thing. The second thing is that even though these shipping ports are now owned by Chinese, that is the way they're growing their network. That is the way they're growing their hegemony. The people in these countries are benefiting from those shipping ports, from those operations, from the work that's taking place there. It just means that these particular assets have been, and regarding my first admission, the poor economic management led to these kind of default situations where ports are being taken over because they can't repay what they need to repay. But even in the event that these defaults and these reacquisitions are taking place, and China is obviously reacquiescing, they are still using these shipping ports to improve the quality of life for certain nations, particularly in Africa, for instance, who didn't have a good quality of life without that infrastructure there to begin with. So yes, there has been, China has been collecting developing countries, say in Africa, using these economic systems, and yes, it has come with some loss of control for countries, but the reality truly is that these countries were pretty poor economic managers to begin with. But China has been quite lenient with them. Even
You're going to the next point. I wanted to address this next point.
Can I add my point?
Sure.
I want to add an actual example happened in my country, which is Egypt. Look, guys, when you created someone, when you lend someone some money, you have to make sure that he can pay back. And that's why there's something called credit rating companies like Moody's or Fitch or S&P or whatever, So they assess your situation and see your ability how to pay the debt. And based on your assessment, they will tell you exactly how much they can lend you. This is how it works. When you go to a bank to get a home loan, they assess you first. Okay, in my country, we have a dictator that is ruling the country.
Overprescribing. In Syria, it's called overprescribing. I already conceded this point. Yes.
I want to add a real example. I want to add a real example happened in my country. In my country, this guy, he didn't do well in economy. It was like shit. Everyone is suffering and blah blah blah. So when the credit rating company, we cannot give you $5 billion because of your situation. And after lots of assessment, he didn't get the loan. You know what happened? He went back to China. They gave him $8 billion. And they know that he cannot pay them back. They 100% sure that he cannot pay them back. So what happened if he didn't pay the loan back? What will happen? They will take lots of assets and gain more power and control over the country. This is what happened from China in everywhere in Africa or Asia or whatever country. But one of the things that make America a little bit different from China, America actually share technology, share the checks and balances, share the ideas, share the stuff. You can see. Let me finish. I didn't interrupt you.
Actually confused.
I didn't interrupt you. Mate, I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. Let me finish. When America, after World War II, they helped lots of countries. You can see now a very successful one, like South Korea, like Japan, even the Gulf countries like Saudi and stuff. They are very good luxury of life. Even other countries that take part with America, because America share technology. Actually, they share the research. They share the science. They share lots of things. Yeah, some of the stuff they don't share. But most of the things actually share with each other. If you see the cooperation between laboratories in Japan or South Korea with America or with whatever, it's totally different. China never share any technology with anyone. They keep the technology to themselves. They don't teach you the know-how. They don't give a fuck about you. They only take your resources and that's it. Or even your assets and that's it. Tell me one example of one country.
China even, I'm going to add to your point. They actually even demand technology transfers, by the way. That's what China does.
Yeah. They steal the technology from Western culture, Western countries.
No,
they never share technology.
I'm not talking about Western. Your country.
Imagine a world that is ruled by China.
Masri, if your country can't pay it back, not only you have a problem at the port and other shit and the debt, you have to transfer your technology, whatever you invented. And if China likes that technology, you have to transfer that technology to fucking, China.
They also take natural resources as a repayment.
So yeah, you want to go finish what you have to say, Masri, and I want to go to the next point.
No, actually, this point is very important because they never share the technology they have. They never share anything. They just tell you the final product.
Right now.
Which make you miserable and never grow. They are not keen about your growth or being developed or advanced or have a prosperity in life for you. They don't give a fuck. They only care about taking the natural resources or whatever you have from assets or whatever whatever they can put their hands on.
That's false.
Right now.
I mean, it's interesting that you cherry pick the countries.
Just give me an example of a country that became advanced because they cooperated with China.
Yes, Germany. I'm half German. I want to have relationships with Germany and China, and we share technology. So fuck you and your biased shit. And it's funny that you're listening.
Why do you have to
because
say
you're
that?
fucking biased. You're going to say you're neutral. You're not neutral. Don't pretend you're neutral. You've got a bias against China. The whole West is brainwashed.
I'm not against China, actually.
You are. You claim that China is so ruthless and barbaric and evil with its business practices. You've trotted out lie after lie. You claim that China is not allowed to use social media. They just happen to have their own social media because they don't want their fucking media propagandized by American lies.
No, because they have surveillance in all their media.
Lie. Why would I want a country full of American propaganda? Fuck Americans when they fucking lie. I don't blame China for censoring American media.
Why don't you live in China? Why didn't you go to live in China?
I'll enjoy it a lot better.
Why you didn't go to live in China if it's a prosperity and good life?
You say that as if that's a majority. You're saying that's a bad thing.
Why do
China
people
is a bad China.
the vice
They've
versa?
performed an economic miracle. They've raised 90% of their population.
Just tell me why don't
they
you
have
live there?
90%
Why?
own ownership. What's
Why
own
don't you
ownership
live
like
there and why people travel from there to
broke?
the Western
British
countries?
are broke.
Why do you think people do that? People are
Europeans
idiots?
are
Do you think
fucked.
people are
Because
idiots?
they're so arrogant. They think they're better than everybody and they're fucked. And they so
People are
naive. They think
self-arrogant.
America was going to help Europe. Well, America was their enemy. China has wanted to help the European countries, but America
Why
bullies
won't
them.
Chinese leave
America
China and live in
bullies-
Western culture?
America
Tell me a
has
reason.
bullied
Why
every
don't you go to live
European
in
country
China?
to not trade with China. China shares technology. We cooperate in EVs.
Just go live in China, man. If it's technology, if it's a better knowledge for you, just go live there.
Technology transfer.
Hold on a second. Yeah, hold on. We're gonna go to the next point. They never demand their technology transfer, China.
What are you talking about demanding? They share technology.
No, not
China
sure.
and Germany engage in
They
significant
demand.
technology sharing and collaboration,
You owe them
particularly
money.
automotive, electric EV batteries,
If you
including
owe
energy
them
sectors.
money,
German
well,
firms often adopt in China for China's strategy, partnering with Chinese
you
firms
owe
to
them money,
localize
bro.
research.
Have you read about
Get
Kuka?
your bias out of
Have you
your
read
head.
about
Have
Kuka,
you
German
been
company?
fucking biased?
Please mute up.
You live in
Masri.
America
Oh my
and you're
God.
brainwashed.
Okay, Masri, please.
Germans are not as brainwashed
Hold
as you.
on.
I can give them some example how
Hold on,
China
Masri.
steals the
I need to chime in. Hang on.
true.
Oh my God.
Apparently I hallucinated.
Okay, I'm gonna have to chime in now. Literally, if they want to, and if you're stuck in a debt, they will force you into doing technology transfer.
Okay.
Alright? That's what China does.
In
If
some
you're stuck in a
cases.
debt, you know
I'd
this.
rather they do that
Do
than
you
put a
agree on
fucking
this?
military base. I have no evidence. No, I don't have any evidence for that.
Not all
You're
countries.
claiming that. I'm not denying it. Maybe it's true.
Not all countries U.S. deals with has to have a military base.
No, only the ones America decides to fuck, if not assassinate their leaders. When did China assassinate a leader for not playing ball?
So
That's
what
what America fucking does.
Ibrahim,
You biased cunt.
didn't they try to assassinate
You're all a
him
bunch of
20
biased
times? Hold on,
fuckfaces,
Rob.
Western brainwashed
Rob.
cabbages.
Who tried to
I
kill
just told you facts about Germany
have
and
some manners in
technology. You
conversation.
completely ignored
Who
it.
tried to kill him?
You
Have
keep
some manners.
ignoring everything
Control your emotion, please.
Fuck
We are
you,
not
you're all
here.
biased cunt. You claim that I'm
Control your
emotional.
emotions, man. Don't insult others.
About Chinese policy.
Why you do
And
that?
you just completely ignore it.
You just
blow
start
off everything
cursing.
I've just said.
It's not putting you in a
You've
strong
not
position
acknowledged
if
a
you keep
single
insulting
thing
other
that I've
people.
said. You haven't acknowledged one fucking thing I've said. You're obsessed with your
But I never
anti-fascist
insulted you,
bias.
man.
All of you.
But nobody insulted you.
Fascist. Fascist, the only one with an objective.
Do I not have the
Nobody
right to
insulted
question
you. Why you
You
insult
got
others?
a
Oh my
fucking
God.
bias against China. And that's
Matthew,
it.
can you please speak really respectfully?
You're biased about nearly everything. You're biased against Iran,
I'm
and you're
asking
biased
you,
against
hold on,
China.
Rolf, I'm asking you, do I not have the right to question your narrative?
Of course you do, but you're not questioning my
Why are you
narrative.
getting
You're
triggered?
ignoring
Why are
the-
you getting triggered?
Because you're ignoring the facts that I'm giving
I'm not
you.
ignoring the
I
facts.
just told you they
I'm not
shared
ignoring the facts.
technology
I'm
with
going
Germany. You
step by
completely
step
ignored
into
it.
your position.
Respectfully, Rob.
Step by step into your position.
Stupid Egyptian guy said no country
Oh
shares
my
tech
God.
with China. That is a lie. I told him why it's a lie, and you fucking completely ignore it.
Oh my God. I am
Oh
going
my
step
God,
by
oh my
step.
God, I'm not
Fascist,
going.
please forgive me, bro. Oh my God, these
You can
people.
check. You can check the internet. That's a fact.
Please stay muted, everybody, except for Rolf. Rolf, my question is, I have the right to question your fucking narrative. This is what I did. I gave you a pushback and you got triggered.
I said to you, it's very likely they do it. I acknowledged what you said. That's the difference between me and you. When you said China demands a transfer of technology if they fuck up, I said, yes, they very likely do. And then I said, you said to me, is that a fact? And I said, I don't know. I accept your fact from you. I don't know that's a fact. I'm not pushing back on that. It's very likely they do that. That's what I said. I took on your information.
Well, what about the
I
competition
processed
for the
it,
local
and
market?
accepted it. But
The
you
local
have not
competition from the
accepted
local
any
market.
of the information
I
I've given
did
you.
accept.
Not a
Hold
single-
on. I
okay.
did.
Do
I
you
did
accept that Germany and China share and collaborate on research and technology? Do you accept that?
Yeah.
Good. Now we're making progress. Thank you.
Hold on. You need to
Now
calm
we're-
down. Calm
Well, I'm
it
not
down.
going to calm
Calm
down
it
if
down.
you don't listen.
Calm it down. We need because we need to be able to question each other's position here. The next question is, do the business, right? Do they complain when, let's say, China comes in, sells them cheap products, whatever? Does it, the competition? It beats the competition with local markets, and I think it does because there's a lot of people that complain. We agree. You have agreement on that?
There's a lot of complaining. Yes.
So how do we solve that?
There's a lot of complaining going on. The way we solve it is we put up with the lesser evil, because China is going to basically dominate trade all over the world, and that's for the benefit of mankind. If you compare that to what the West has done, it's plundered, stealed, robbed, murdered, tortured, destabilized, assassinated. That's all the West has done. So by comparison, Chinese are fucking paradise. They're creating a peaceful planet all across Asia. Where are the wars kicking off? In China, there aren't any. There are disputes around the border, classic stuff. It's always been the case. But Asia, compared to the West,
why don't you go to live in the paradise then?
But you say that because it's a
Why you don't do
that? I might. Instead of so what if I do? What difference does it make?
You should go to the paradise, man. You should go
It's a fucking. Have you ever seen Shenzhen?
Why you live in the Western bad culture? Why?
Have you seen the shitty streets in LA? Have you compared that to Shenzhen? There's no
The
comparison.
Western world is just about ripping people off and exploiting people through the freedoms. The freedom of economic exploitation is what the West is about. China, the people in China worked very, very hard. Slave labor they began with just about very low.
I'm going to give you a little advice. There's a force in the universe that makes things happen.
Electronic or booster battery?
Can you do electronics?
What's the Lord?
Want to steal the hard work that they put in.
Health official.
That's what they want to do. And I don't think it's going to work out for them.
Hi, Adrian. We've met. I'm Rabbi Shmuley. I just want to tell you, we're so proud of you. This you deserve the tone.
Accumulating technologies.
As a community that's under persecution right now in the city injustice of the judicial system, what? So I want you to know there's a very powerful message. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
90, was it 90? I think more than 90 million people out of poverty. I think it was more than that. There's a billion people.
400 million.
5 billion.
Exactly 400 million.
More like 500 million people. I mean, this is an incredible outcome that the system in China produced.
I'm going to give you a little advice. There's a force in the universe that makes things happen.
All you have bullshit artists, used car salespeople, fucking Epstein, fucking upper class, and there is no comparison. Roth is correct. There is no comparison. The people of China have proved themselves to the world that they will, with some obvious gains. You can't expect to do deals with Kenya, and Siri was making an interesting point there about the overprescription. His point got a little bit confused. Overprescribing is when in the West we work out that we can't lend a certain amount of money to people. It's actually illegal to lend them that money because we know that they can't pay it back. So the benefit for whoever's trying to attempt that is the client pays the client pays some back, and then they start to struggle to pay back. Then they default. Then you take their asset off them. And this type of activity has become illegal in the West to do this. It's in fact now anybody who's lending has to do their due diligence and ensure that they're not overprescribing. Because in fact, I actually know somebody who got away with $16 million from an insurance company here in the West. They got that company on a technicality that they had loaned them too much, and so they would do. It was a big insurance corporation, but they were doing loans as well. They shouldn't have loaned $16 million to this particular businessman when he was having his assets taken from him. He brought it to the courts. He had a team of lawyers, and they called up the overprescription clause. The judge ruled in his favor that they had overlent to him. They had given him too much money to play with that was beyond his means to repay. Now, of course, this type of law doesn't exist in the international trade system that China has been capitalizing by going into countries and, yes, overprescribing to countries that cannot manage themselves economically efficient enough in order to ensure that repayments are made. And yes, so they have been collecting things like ports, they have been collecting things like technologies, they have been collecting things like this. But the outcome hasn't been all devastating. While it is a form of expansionism, it has come with its benefits for the people and improving of their lifestyles as well. But look, at the very minimum, if I were going to be choosing between an oligarch system based on a hierarchy of priorities that go all the way down to the bottom versus some shysters and con artists and bullshit artists and Epstein 1%ers, I'm going with the Chinese. That's all it comes down to.
Fascist, can I tell you something? So all the countries, they've been responsible for the casualties. Do you agree? Including China.
Damn, Google voicemail just like fucking kicked me off.
Conversation with you.
Have you ever served in?
Like twice. Hey, D-Ray, you had a legal question for me?
Yeah, the Nick Shirley video of like those hospices. And like those girls, sitting in the office, sue Nick Shirley for making a video with them in it and like claiming that it's fraud.
Potentially. That Lavash, the bakery owner, definitely has a good claim for defamation. I don't know about those girls just standing there.
It's like Nick Shirley has no proof. He just knows like how much money they received and what their offices look like. Who's to tell?
What did he say? What did Nick Shirley say?
He didn't say exactly like these people are doing fraud, but the implication was definitely there. So it's up to the viewer to make the connection.
He's accusing who of doing what? I didn't see the latest.
He's accusing office workers at hospices of doing Medicare fraud.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of Medicare fraud. I don't know anything about this specific thing, but there's definitely, I think, a lot of fraud going on.
Nick Shirley should never be mentioned in any conversation about what's credible. This motherfucker is
minimal credibility. I agree.
Yeah, fuck him.
Minimal to none.
You think it was a Somali thing?
Yes.
But the thing is, he does get views.
Yeah, he gets views because dumb
Americans are
motherfuckers.
stupid. That's why. You saw that out of the 10 places he visited, the daycares, only one of them was actually legitimately investigated, and it turned out like they weren't doing what he was accusing them of doing. Like, he's pretty bad, bro. But he does get clicks. He does get views.
Because people want to believe what he's saying. Even though he has no proof, no credibility, he's a piece of shit, goes to closed daycare centers and pretends like they're doing fraud because no one won't answer. Hey, where are the children? You know how cringe that is? Where are the children is a crazy statement. What are you doing, bro?
That is pretty crazy, man.
Where are the children? Shut the fuck up. Why are you asking about where the children are?
Random
go
guy
do something.
in unmarked vehicle rolls up, knocks on the door of a daycare and says, "Hey, where are the kids from?"
Right. What the fuck?
This is pretty crazy. They need to look into Medicare waste. I don't think most people know what that is. They should really Google it and study on it. It's very interesting. How much money goes unaccounted for? Where is that money going? No one fucking knows. It's amazing.
It's going back to Somalia.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell fucking yeah.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Am I the only one that thinks Ilhan Omar is, she's a fucking baddie?
She cute. She cute. Her head isn't that big. That's why.
Have y'all seen her without the hijab on?
I don't think so.
She's bad, bro.
I think AOC
That's why
her mouth is too big, bro. Her mouth is too big. Like she looks.
Or her mouth is the perfect size, brother. You got to look at the glass half
I'm
full.
telling you, bro. She could rock hippopotamus teeth, bro, and you would be the wiser, bro. She could like smile, bro. Shit scares me, bro.
If it fits, you must have quit, right? What?
if the glove doesn't fit.
You must have. I know, I was making a blowjob joke. She has like the perfect Lifetime movie, real life story. From martyr to fucking congresswoman. It's fucking crazy.
Amazing.
And she has that seat on lock. On fucking lock.
Are you guys following the LA mayor race?
No, but I've heard that we have the most interesting people running for office right now.
Duke is in shape. Nithya Raman, was running against Bass, and he was a Bass ally.
Have you seen the commercials for the governor candidates? The gubernatorial candidates?
No.
Bro, they're all really bad. All really fucking bad. Like, there's this one guy whose slogan is, "We'll do California the Californian way."
What does that even mean?
Like, he was basically going to stand up to Trump is what he's saying. And, like, okay, cool. Like, what do you want to do, secede from the union? Like, what did get California the California way?
How much do you think he paid for that slogan?
A lot, bro. He's on daytime TV 24 fucking 7.
Hey, yo, PTR, this is what my life looks like now.
I can't fucking PR, bro. I'm in the middle of a raid right now.
No, bro.
Fuck it, I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll do it.
Hey, some
Oh,
fucking
you
honor,
fucking
bro.
heroin addict.
Yeah, he's shutting up right now.
Wait, are you playing Arc Raiders?
Hey, bro, what are you doing with your life?
If you're not like shooting yourself with like human growth hormone like twice a day and optimizing your cycle, are you even trying? If you don't have a Chinese peptide either, Oleg, like,
did you get blood?
No, not yet, bro. I'm a little semi, bro. I haven't given blood yet, bro.
You need to stop injecting yourself with shit and give blood first to check your hormone
Nobody
levels.
want his dirty ass blood. He's shooting this shit up with all types of dumb shit. Who the fuck wants his blood?
Listen, bro. I'm playing For Honor right now, bro, and this shit is like, look, maybe this shit has lead and arsenic, but it has some of that fucking good brain shit, bro, because I'm playing above my level, bro, and I have like 600 hours of this game, bro. Like, the amount that I'm playing, bro, I'm fucking doing amazing. For Honor. So, you need reactions.
It's for homosexuals.
Hago, did you say Raid? Are you playing Arc Raiders?
No, I'm playing RuneScape, bro.
RuneScape, okay.
Fucking base game.
We're in the middle of a goddamn war, and you gentlemen are over here playing video games.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Who's fighting the war? Are you fighting the war, Oleg?
I'm about to go fight fucking shit. You kidding me?
You got me fucked up.
You got me fucked.
That's a big problem for you.
Because it's like, let's look at the percentage here. Is
is it a vast majority of people coming?
He contributed to deaths in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and let me see who wants to come up. Somebody wants to come up. And so the U.S. I don't have the fucking number. I'll give you the number as well. I would say probably about 40, 50 million as well. But so what I'm saying to you is, Rolf, I don't look. I know you love China, right? I do use a lot of Chinese products. I sell a lot of Chinese products, by the way. Online business, whatnot that I do. I have a lot of Chinese products that I use it to fix cars. Some of my tools are from China. My shoes, I mean, even the name brand shoes, they come from China, right? But at the same time, we can call it. I mean, all of the countries. Now you can't be biased towards one. I would say is they're all freaking demonic. Not just America, even the fucking Chinese government is demonic.
Well, actions speak louder than words.
Can we say both of the parties are bad? All of them are bad?
Not in my opinion. No, they're not even close. There's no comparison.
I just gave 45 million number in famine. China was responsible.
Numbers. It was a famine. It was a historical famine that came together.
Communist Party was responsible for it. They could have fed the fucking people.
Yes, we just discussed this at length earlier on, unless you have the memory of a fucking goldfish. We already discussed that at length. And it was not a war of choice. All of the last wars,
I'm making the argument they're all bad.
Words in the last decades were wars of choice by America. Conscious choices in alliance with one of the most evil entities on the planet designed.
Why can't you not say they're all bad?
Because there's a big difference between a fuck up, a mistake, a tragedy, versus a calculated 10-year plan to put together logistics, planning, weaponry to intentionally murder millions of people. There's no comparison morally between the two. One is a disaster that was regrettable. The other was a calculated plan to intentionally kill and displace millions of people, including strategies to cut off civilian infrastructure, to target civilians, to target children, to mass murder people for ethnic and religious biased reasons driven by the demented state of Israel, which has occupied America for the latter half of the 20th century and the first quarter of the 21st century. So let's not leave Israel out of the equation. One of the reasons America has perpetrated such horrible atrocities is because of their strong alignment with Israel. And that is a fact. That's why they commit such demonic acts specifically against the Muslim world. It's very targeted against Muslims.
Okay, what about Xinjiang province in China, which was an old country until 1949 when the Chinese occupied it, and they called the Uyghur Muslim, about 20 million people, and they are now in captivity, and they are now in
they are not
concentration
now in
camps.
captivity. False.
You don't know them. You don't know them because you didn't meet them. I have few friends from them, and I know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, you don't. Because
You're telling me the Chinese is the good side now.
Yes,
there is no good and bad in politics, mate.
There is actually.
No one is good, no one is bad.
Society can be good and one society can be bad.
There is no bad or good. That's an emotional analysis.
It's ultra bad. There is a scale.
Politics doesn't work like that.
Swedish society is good. Danish society is very good.
What about Tibet?
There is a
what about Tibet?
Yeah, I know.
Tibet is an Indian province that was taken by China in 1949.
There are border disputes. We know the long.
They are occupied countries right now, and they are still under occupation, but you don't know anything about that.
China has occupied Kashmir as well, by the way. Rolf, what's your take on the China occupying Kashmir?
Kashmir, I'm not an expert on that one.
But what about Xinjiang, man?
Specifically,
Let me talk India has it and China has it. It's three countries that's under occupation, Kashmir.
Yeah, I accept that. I've never said China's perfect. I said on a scale, countries are good and bad. I regard China as a good.
How do you scale it on the amount of casualties or killing? How do you scale it?
On its policies, because it acts peacefully by comparison to the West. The West is a mass murdering psychotic bunch of colonialists. China is a superpower trying to defend its interests and its geographical integrity and its trading partnerships. And it's stuck to that policy as long as the modern state has been incepted. And that has been consistent on that policy. Now let's talk about Shenzhen. Yesterday we were talking to a Zionist who brought up some talking points. We looked it up, and guess who was behind it? Various think tanks, including the Brookings Institute. And these think tanks are Zionist.
Rolf, your voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear, mate.
To identify the tensions in the province of Shenzhen in China. It identified there was some conflict between the Muslims culture there and the Chinese government. And so they thought, this is great. We can stir up some shit here. We can amplify this story and probably send in infiltrators to stir up shit and create false flag attacks. That's what they always do.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Ralph. Ralph, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Clamp down the terrorists and the subversives. They did they interned people in re-education camps. If you look at the actual buildings, they're not prisons, they're more like
That's not re-education camps. That's ridiculous. That's a big lie.
Shenzhen is free.
That's a big lie. It's a country that's still occupied up till now. Up till this moment.
They can speak their language. They even have their language on the Chinese currency. They have no.
No, they are forcing them to not speak, not to practice their culture.
And their culture.
Don't lie. You don't know anything about Xinjiang. You don't know anything about Uyghur
Because
people.
the Chinese government appreciates its.
You absolutely brainwashed. You are a brainwashed person.
Already debunked 2 years ago. 2 years ago, that narrative was debunked.
Guys, Xinjiang is Turkestan. It was an independent country. And they have like 20 million people. Chinese take them over in 1949. Up till now.
Talk to the Muslims, they're completely comfortable.
And they took them because of the oil reserve that was there in their land.
It's done, but you people want to fall for the propaganda.
I need you to speak. I want to reply
right now.
Propaganda.
I want to reply, guys.
Anyways,
Can you give me the chance, Amir?
Yeah, hold on a second. Ralph just likes to go on a monologue. I put a list of massacres that China was involved. We're going to go over the list really quick. And, Ralph, it's up to you whether you responded or not. I'm going to read it.
I want to talk about Xinjiang, Amir.
Yes, if you can hang on a second, bro.
Okay.
I put a list in the chat. If you scroll down, you can open it up. People of Republic China since 1949. Ilhan Massacre, 1949. About over 7,000 Han Chinese civilians. These were victims. Chinese land reform, 1949 to 53, 1 million to 4.7 million. These were victims killed. Campaign to suppress counter-revolutionaries. This was 712,000 to 2 million people. 5 anti-campaign, 1951 to 52, 100,000 plus. 1954 Cathay Pacific Douglas DC-4 shootdown. There was about 10 people that were killed. Sufan movement. You have 53,000 killed, 1955 to 57. And Raidis campaign, 1957 to 59, 550,000 to 2 million. Zunhua incidents, 1958. There were about 435 people killed. 1959 Tibetan uprising, 1959, 87,000 killed. Violence in the Great Chinese Famine that we already talked about. It was close to anywhere between 15 to 45 million. Socialist education movement. About 77,560 were killed. So, by looking at the Chinese history, I don't know what to tell you. Master, it's on you.
Yeah, guys, Xinjiang was a country called East Turkestan, and they were an independent country back at that time. Chinese Communist Party, when they won the civil war in China, they attacked this country and take over it. And they added it to the mainland China. And they take this country because of the vast resources they have, especially for oil reserve. The second thing is the Tibet. And by the way, they put the Muslim there at concentration camp. And America in 2001 have this 9/11 thing.
What
they started to
Jesus and all of this shit. No, they just go on about their fucking lives. Why? What? Who's the asshole that decided that, like, I'm gonna fucking publicly announce that I don't fuck with the religion of the majority of the state? For what? What does that do? Like, that's whoop de fucking do.
You think that your God has a moral view one way or the other?
My God is your God. It's the same. We were created by the same entity.
That's not answering the question. They asked you, does your God, whether it's my God or your God, whichever God you believe in, do you think that God has a moral view of what is happening?
Absolutely, I would say. Why would God not?
What's that?
Hey
What's
guys,
that view?
before we continue on the God talk, I just want to clarify something. So, are you of the opinion that an alliance between Iran and China would be enough to overcome the
And they
advantage
went.
that U.S. has?
They came back.
Am I aware, or say that again?
Bit of a distraction, actually. I'm trying to figure out if this guy has any moral conscience at all in his brain somewhere. It doesn't seem like somewhere he does. I mean, you claim to be a Muslim.
Do you
claim to be a Muslim? I'm literally fucking talking, bro.
Do you ever hunt your food, or have you ever slaughtered a chicken?
I'm in the middle of a sentence.
And ate it?
I'm in the middle of a sentence.
I'm just trying to get a feel for
you might be a theist
here, Elliot.
I could probably agree to that.
I got my
You're no
answer,
fucking Muslim. You sure as shit aren't a Muslim. A Muslim would sit here and tell me that yes, God has a moral view on what's going on in Iran, and he would say this is justified, this is true, this is correct, this is.
And God would have an even more moral view on what's going on in Gaza. So what's your fucking point? What do you have to say about that?
Say about what?
I said, and what's your moral view of what's going on in Gaza? Well, I'm sure God would have a lot more to say about that. Or let's
I'm trying to figure out if you're a fucking terrorist.
Or let's talk about the baby who was burned with cigarettes by US soldiers for 10 hours.
Are you a terrorist?
Dude, if he was,
are you a terrorist?
He told you no, would you believe him?
It's a simple question, dude. It's no answer.
Are you a fucking terrorist? What the fuck kind of shit is that?
Okay, do you support terrorism?
Elliot,
what the fuck
what's
is
wrong with
terrorism? You talking about shit funded by Israel? Because that's all terrorism is.
Yeah, you claim to be an American.
ISIS,
terrorism.
Boko Haram, all of them.
Iran has said over and over and over. Death to America. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out which fucking side you're on. Are you a terrorist?
Figure out which side I'm on?
No, dude, forget terrorism.
Do I need to PTR the American flag on the fucking back of my truck, you fucking idiot?
Are you guys...
I can fucking sit here and support my own country and not be a goddamn idiot. Do you want troops on the ground? Do you want American troops on the ground because a few fucking protesters died? Is that what I'm getting from you?
But dude, my question was not rhetorical. I actually want to know whether you're a terrorist or not. You know, and you could answer that by just saying no, but you have not done.
I think it's a fucking stupid fucking question. I'm sitting here telling you all of this shit is funded by Israel. Terrorism itself is fucking funded by Israel. So why the fuck would I sit here and take some handout from Israel to do some state-funded bullshit? Is that what you're saying? Like, how is that even a fucking question? You're talking about answering it yes or no? Am I morally sound? To me, it seems like you guys are the fucking moral losers. Because you're really sitting here trying to fucking dictate what another fucking nation has to fucking do with itself instead of just working on what the fuck you got going on.
So when the Iranian government says death to America, do you support that statement?
Do you support it?
No, I don't support that. I'm American.
Okay, so when they say death to Israel, do you support that
now,
statement?
Can you answer my question?
Do you support that statement when they say death to Israel?
Can you answer my question? You're dodging. Okay? When the Iranian government says, as they have been saying for decades, death to America, do Do you support them?
Mr. Elliott, Iranian regime said death to America. It's not mean death to people of America. They mean the death to the American regime. So it doesn't mean that's death to American people. You have to know that.
You're talking about the same Iranian regime when they took American hostages in '79. They freed the black people and told us that we were already oppressed. You are free to go. And you're asking me, what did Muhammad Ali? Ain't no Vietnamese ever called me no nigga. So what the fuck are you at? Why are you asking me this question?
Do you support Iran when the Iranian government says death to America, whatever that means?
I support whoever is freeing the world from the oppressed. I support that. That's what I support.
Okay, so
I support
from your answer, nobody knows whether you support the Iranian government when they say death to America. Nobody can understand what the fuck you're saying because you don't answer.
Nobody can understand what I'm saying.
Death to America.
I support
Death to America.
Everyone understands.